Hi, my name's Yvonne and I'm a UK Stampin' Up demonstrator, and what I'm going to show you today is this really simple card. Now this card has been, I've made this by using the Forever Blossoms stamp set. So you've got this beautiful flower like a cherry blossom and some leaves, another little flower head, a bud, and some lovely sayings. Cherish every moment of this day. Friend, you mean so much to me. Wishing you a long life together, filled with love and promise, always and forever. All of me loves all of you, and simple love. So I really like this particular stamp set, and it does come with a die to cut out various of the shapes and the flowers, but I'm just going to show you a simple colouring using this particular stamp set and some watercolour pencils. I'm only going to be using 3 colours, so we've got Old Olive, Flirty Flamingo, and it says Crushed Curry on there. I thought that was a brown, but it says Crushed Curry on there, but it looks fine, so I'm not too worried. And then we've also got a blender pen. Now I was introduced to this blender pen and how to use it with the watercolour pencils on a Pootler's team meeting that I went to last year, and it's another way to do watercolours without using water. So this blender pen is absolutely brilliant. And the final thing I'll be using is a Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad. So I've got my card here. I folded it this particular way, but you can do it however you want. There's no right or wrong, it's just how I like to do these particular cards. So I've got my flower all ready on my block. I'm just going to ink this up, and then I'm just going to stamp it. I'm just going to press down, and there we go. So the flower has got some beautiful details with shading on the stem and on the leaves, and it's such a pretty inked image. So I'm just going to leave that for a couple of minutes. Now the sentiment I've used on here is "You mean so much to me," which I will ink up now, and we'll use the same image. Make sure I've got it the right way, and I'm just going to place on there. Now I'm keeping this card really simple, but what you can do with the actual sentiment is stamp it onto another card and put another colour, another coordinating colour underneath and raise it up. But for this particular one, I am just leaving it flat. Right, so now I have no colouring techniques whatsoever. All I'm going to do is scribble in the middle of each flower. Now you're going to look at the colour and you'll be like, oh dear, that's way too bright. Don't worry, I'm just putting a couple of lines on each of the middle of the flower, and it's as simple as that. So if you do decide to purchase this particular stamp set, please remember that if you spend over £45, you'll be entitled to celebration, which means for every £45 you spend, you get a free gift, whether it be a stamp set or some papers, or I've got this here particularly, some sequins and some thread. And if you spend over £90, then there'll be other items that you can choose as your free gift. So this is a brilliant time of year to stock up. So say you require some ink pads and cardstock, you buy the ink pads and your cardstock up to the £45 and you'll get a free stamp. For example, we've got the Happy Birthday to You stamp. This is a really pretty stamp and I've used it on a few cards so far, but if you spend over the £45 you get this free, and I think it's such a brilliant way to increase your stamp collection. So have a think about it. This is only available till the 31st of March, so if you're wanting to join our celebration, then please do so, and there'll be links below to the shop where you'll be able to purchase the items. So this is the blender pen. It has two ends. We've got a thicker end and a thinner end, and all I'm going to do is use this. Oops, that may have a bit of green. Oop. And just scribble. So what it's doing is bleeding the colour out. So that really, really dark pink or bright pink is just now a subtle pink. I say, I'm not being precise about it, I'm just scribbling. And if you want to, you can go over that again and just make it a bit pinker. And it's as easy as that. So I've just put a little bit of colour on those flowers, but it's a much subtle effect once you've used a blender pen to pull out the colour. Just need to put a little bit of there and there. And there we go. So that is the pink, which is a Flirty Flamingo. And now I'm just going to use a crushed curry just to do the stems. I'll say I'm not particularly, just colour them in a little bit. And that's all I'm going to do with them. And now we have the leaves, so I'm using Old Olive, and again I'm just going to scribble or put a line up the middle of the leaf. And then with the pen again, I'm just going to clean it off. And that really dark colour that we put in the centre of those leaves has blended out to something much paler. So it's such a delicate effect. But it's really pretty. And there we go. I'm just going to turn my pen the other way. I say you can keep working it as much as you want, putting more of your pencil colour on there and then using your blender pen to drag it out. And then the final thing I'm going to do now is I'm just going to, there's like a single leaf, so I'm just going to give the effect of the falling leaf, and I want to just take it not quite off. I quite like images that aren't fully on the card. So there's just a little tip that's going to be missing. And then for the final part, I like to stamp inside the card. So there's a little flower. I'm just going to ink that up and position that in the corner. And then I'll do exactly the same with the colouring on there. I'm just going to put that flat because I don't want that to smudge. Just needs to dry a little bit before you colour on it. And again, just scribble down the centre, and then just drag the colour out. That is that. So I'm just going to do the inside one. Make sure it's dry. And again, just little scribbles in the middle. And just make sure I've got the clean end. And that is the card. Now, this can be for Mother's Day, or it can be just a thank you card or a birthday card, but I really like the subtle effect of using the watercolour pencils and the blender pen, just to give it a really subtle colour on the actual flower. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will put all my links below, so you'll be able to have a look in the shop, and if you wish to purchase this particular stamp set. I'll be showing some more examples colouring with our alcohol markers and using the watercolour, the Stampin' Right markers as watercolour pens. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.